Awesome. All right. Just for the video, hello, thank you for joining. I've got Daniel here with Love Daniel, and we're going to be playing some PAX Renaissance First Edition. And Daniel has played two games, right?
Yep, that's right. I've one was sort of like a classic teaching, almost cooperative game
Right.
where I talked through all of his lines and he talked through all my lines, and then
And
I
he
played
helped you beat
one.
him, right?
No, almost. But then I played one sort of like actual game. But yeah, I'm really
Cool.
excited to learn some more.
Good. Good. Um, cool. So that's it's great for the stream then. So if you're new to Ren, if you're watching the video and you're new to Ren, Daniel will probably have some questions that the viewers will have as well. Um, so this is the first edition mod. You're starting from the roots, which I totally appreciate. I think in some respects, Ren has some advantages over second edition, so I'll play either edition. I have no preference. This mod doesn't have the macro for a setup, so I'll go over how to set up real quick too. So you take all the cards, and if you've got the expansion cards, throw them in too, because they're great. And then shuffle. And this mod actually doesn't have every single card. There are like two or three missing cards from the BGG promo set, which someone told me was
Gotcha.
by design because they don't like the card that's missing is Elizabeth Bathory, I believe, and Podesta of Venice. Elizabeth Bathory, I have no reason why anyone would not like her. She's just a queen. But Podesta of Venice gives you a free trade fair action, so it's kind of like one of those, free action cards that
uh,
some people seem to hate. All right, so in a two-player game, you're going to have a stack with 12 cards. I know how to do this. Cut to 12. Do, 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 do. Get that 12 card stack out. And then an additional 8. 4 per player. So in a two-player game, it's another 8 cards. And that 8 card stack will go on top, and you're going to put the comets in on top of the 12 card stack and shuffle that.
so I have 12 and 8, so then my comments both go on top of the 12,
Yep.
and then that gets shuffled, and then the 8 gets shuffled and go on top of that.
And place on top. There you go.
Yep.
I'm not going to play with these cards. And some people want the game to last a little longer because you can have a comet come out on like turn 2 or 3 with this
Right.
configuration. So if you want it to last longer without adding cards to the deck, you can just put the comets into that stack of 8 cards and put the 12 card stack on top.
Gotcha.
Because if you just so like the other solution is to set up for like a three-player game, but
Right, I've heard about that variant before, I guess.
that adds too many cards, I think. Like if you get to the mid and end game,
Yeah,
then like oh my god, it's really hard to calculate all the cards.
yeah, I hadn't heard your method of just like swapping the 8 and 12. That makes sense because it doesn't really lengthen the full deck, just where the comments might be.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this me?
Um, yeah, that can be you.
Okay,
And we've got Medici versus Kur. Very cool. And to figure out first player, let's just whoever gets Fugger out of these remaining two.
okay,
Oh, I got it. So I'll
sounds
be
good.
first. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And yellow to go here. So yeah, further continuing the setup, just if you're new. You deal a random banker card. If Fugger is dealt, then he'll be first. If not, just do what we did. And then, yeah, blue starts here, and then yellow starts here. You can tell by the crests. Green goes here, and then orange goes here. So, yeah, it'll just be a game. It's not like a teacher or anything, but if you have any questions, just fire them away. And I'll try to show you some good plays here.
Sounds good.
So I've definitely gotten used to the market being like squished together in second edition. It kind of sucks to have it like this. And to think I used to prefer this. Okay, so you are on the east and I'm on the west. This card could kill my pawn flat out because that's a pirate. That's France in a box for you. If someone bought and played that. Ooh, I like this card as Medici. Okay, what's in the east? Another Papal States pirate. I'm just not going to do anything about that. And also a pirate that can kill you. So right here, that's a pretty good card too. It's quite decent. Hmm. Cool. Good cards. Okay, this doesn't have a one shot. So if I bought and played this, I could get Papal States.
Oh, how much
Hmm?
money should I start with?
Oh,
Is it
four.
four?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry.
no worries. Thing about going for Papal States right off the bat right now is that if you were to buy and play France, then it could threaten it. Maybe. And you've got tax, so you could definitely overwhelm Papal States if you got this. I kind of want to get pawns out at the start of the trade routes early in the game, so I think I'm going to go for this card.
Okay.
I find going in the east boring, but sometimes it's just what you got to do. And then I can't play him yet because there are no heretics in Byzantium. Ooh, that gives you money too. I don't like that. Actually, you can take that. I don't care. I don't want to spend all my money and like set you up to make money. That's just disaster right there. Um, yeah, let's just go for this one. And I'll just play it. It's risky. I did this in a game last night against Toby. I
Hmm.
spent all my money to go for Papal States, which is like by far the weakest empire. And he just like pretty quickly overwhelmed me and I was out. It was a real short game. But here I go doing it again. So I'm going to play this card, and that's going to trigger the Peasant Revolt. That's going to be 2 against 1 because you got the card agent plus my guy here. So
Yep.
casualties. Oh, there's no return slot in this. This goes here.
Yep.
And this guy dies, but then he'll come back in the regime change.
Hmm.
And I'm going to, where is the, oh, it's over here. All right, and that's it.
All right.
I'll turn on turns.
Okay. Um, so I think if you'd put any money in the east, I would have considered running a trade fair pretty early.
Yeah,
Um, but you didn't, so probably not going to. And looking at the one shots I have available to me, um, I obviously don't know like a lot about how important the like starting locations are in the grand scheme of things, but in the in the first two games I played, I sort of by happenstance leaned pretty heavily in the east, and so I'm kind of thinking I might buy this card and see what the west is all about.
sure.
I'll take that that florin, and I will play this, and then so it has 2 knights on it. I'll do the conspiracy, and so those 2 white knights will fight this knight, and then so he'll he'll die, and then I'll be left with 1 knight from the card that comes on here.
Yep. Well, you can place that knight anywhere you like.
Right. Um,
Yeah, put it there.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay. And so I do that because then I can end up with 3 knights in
Hmm.
a
Since you
kingdom I
have that
control,
nifty
right?
tax op, yeah.
Okay. And then so I get France, which is here, and that gives me a concession. And I will put that.
Now,
Uh,
considerations for where to place.
yeah,
You want
sure.
to look at the market for any pawn repress that can target it. So look for like English, French, Holy Roman, basically pawn represses. There are none that I can see. If
Right.
you were to
Gotcha.
put it here, then this one could take it, but you wouldn't put it here to start with. And then
Right.
barring that, are there any peasant revolts that you could set up? Is like a peasant revolt in England or Holy Roman that you could maybe set up for it? Because then that would be a bonus attacker for you. If
Gotcha.
that's not a consideration to make, then place it on the far end of the empire so that if a trade fair passes through, it'll reinforce before it hits your pawn.
That makes sense. So yeah, I will put it here. And then, as I said, I played sort of the East cards mostly my first game, and now
Yeah.
I'm just realizing like how far away this concession is from
It's not too
the
late.
side of the trade.
So if you wanted this, I'll get you a pawn like right here.
Oh yeah, sure
However,
enough.
putting it here, you'll have to find a way to make money because you'll run out eventually. But you could eventually overpower me and take Papal States or anywhere else you like because that does give you um, tax, which is real strong, especially for France.
Yeah.
So
No, I
those are
think
the different options.
I'm gonna play this and let it ride, see what happens. So, okay,
Okay.
I'll shift the market, and then your turn.
Okay, I'll do a trade fair. So I'll take one, and in a two-player game, that's it. You don't add another one. And then we're gonna get paid out here, one and two. Discard, I guess, over here. Okay, and we're gonna raise some levies. And it stops right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's first action. And I want this card. Peasant Revolt in the West. It's pretty good. The thing about Peasant Revolts is that they always leave the empire that you attack undefended. And you've got a central located empire in the West, so whatever
Mm-hmm.
I attack, like you can just kind of come up from behind. So probably not gonna be able to trigger this, but it's got some good stuff on it like vote and law and commerce.
Yep.
Right, so that flips, goes down. And now if you're in a trade fair, you'd get two, but I would also get two.
Yep.
You could also run an East trade fair for one, or for two as well,
2.
without paying
Mm-hmm.
me.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. And so, question about this card. This is a crusade, so I could not play it, right? Because there's no non-Catholic units in Papal States.
You can't trigger the Crusade currently, but
Mm-hmm.
if you put this guy out, you could, or even this guy.
Gotcha. I think I'm going to buy. Nope. I think I'm going to first run a eastern trade route. So I take 1 florin, and then this one will pay out down here,
Mm-hmm.
um, which reinforces here and here, and then dies. And then I'm going to purchase this card.
This will go to this card.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Now, if you wanted to keep it in the east, you would buy the card first and then do the trade fair. But if you're okay with transferring that coin to the west, then do what you did. But if you keep it
No,
in the east, you've got the monopoly on east coins right now, so you probably want to keep it in the family.
yeah, no, I did want to keep it in the east, and I thought this way it would stay there. So do you mind if I put it
No, not at
there
all.
instead? Okay.
The only difference is that now that trade fair will make it
Right
all the
now,
way.
this gets a levy. Yep. Okay. And so I paid the coin, and I take this into my hand.
All right, so you're going to get rid of all my pawns in money making. Oh, this is a real nasty move. I'll do it later. I only have one coin? Damn. All right, well, I'm going to have to do another trade fair. Oops, no, no, no. Yeah, trade fair. So new trade fair. One for me, and then two more, and then one, two, and then this is where the last one goes.
Mm-hmm.
So ending here. Ooh, see? And it's a good thing you put the pawn here, because now you've got two knights.
Yep.
I have no choice but to give you a knight.
Yep.
Hmm. I have to get this card because it can behead my other Papal States card.
Yep.
And honestly, even the card I have in my hand, because it's a West card. So if you had gotten that, it would have been real devastating. I would have like no cards. Because then you could also take this card with campaign. You can
Gotcha.
still behead this card with this card if you get it.
How
I
does
can't.
behead work on a queen?
So her location just becomes whoever king you marry her into.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And you know that the West can be targeted by any card in the West.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh,
First
there's a
comment.
comment. Mm-hmm.
I think you asked me earlier what rules to backport from second edition to first edition.
Hey. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think actually one that people actually do backport. I've seen other people do it, like the Spanish meta, is the ability that's on Wolf of Rimini in first edition and Duchy of Ferrara. In first edition, they both say that knights and papal states count twice, but there's so many like implications of that and wrinkles that it's a very unclear ability. So in second edition, it's changed to just give Venice a second knight levy, similar to Constantinople. So it's just like
Gotcha.
way clearer, and I think
That
it's
makes
better.
sense.
It also increases papal states like defense, which is good.
Okay. So let's see.
Oh, do you want to play open-handed?
I will, um, but mostly just so I can ask you a question if I need to. But
Sure, sure.
I don't care. Let's see.
So you could conquer Papal States now if you wanted. Um, there's
Because
no
with the
rush.
campaign, you
Hmm.
can go diagonal.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's no rush. If you conquered it, you would probably want to repress one of my pieces, and if you did it that way, it would cost you one. So the other way to do that is to play your Barbarossa brothers, which will clear out my pawns either through the pirates, in addition to like the repress op here, and that can clear the spots out for you. So that would take more time, but it would actually make you money. Difference of 2 florins at least. It could be 3 if you don't play the pirate. And because I have this Crusade in Papal States, you probably don't want to play the pirate anymore. You probably just want to play that card and eat my pawns for a coin each. And then that'll make way for your pawns when you campaign there. A comment is out, so whenever a comment's out, you always want to check the board to see if anyone's got a victory condition or if they're close. Right now, that's neither of us are close. So, but if you
I
start
see.
campaigning and conquering with all that money and those knights, that could be dangerous.
Gotcha.
And you've got
And
that
so then,
tax.
all right. So you're saying that I might not want to play the pirate because you can just behead it right away.
Oh yeah, you're right. Totally forgot that I have this, and that not only did
Or is
by
that
buying this
not your
protect
point
my card, it'll
usually?
also attack your card. So there's that consideration. I totally forgot about that.
I see. So, but what was your first point about why I might not want to play the pirate?
Well, if you play the pirate, then I can trigger my crusade, and that'll give me a straw man, turn that into a
Ah, I
republic.
see. I see. Gotcha.
And I
Right,
could I
because
could
what we
even
talked about
use your
earlier, right
knight
now
to
that
come attack
Crusade's
it.
not.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yep. Gotcha. That makes sense. Um, okay. Then, yes, I do think I'm going to do West Ops. And so first I will tax in France.
Ooh, a monster.
And um, so I have to target my concession here, right?
Yes.
And then so I pay $1 or a florin.
You have the
Um,
option. If you pay, you can keep your concession on the map. If you don't pay, it gets repressed. But either way, you still get to raise another levy. You probably want to keep your concession.
right. I think I do. So
Yeah.
I'll pay the florin. And then now I raise a levy. So I get a third night in Lyon. Um, and I have the money to campaign. So that's not really an issue. And then so now I will do that campaign. And I guess now I'm going to look back at the market real fast and see if there's any reason not to, or to take one of these over another, because I have several good targets here. Um, do I necessarily want to take Papal States? Or
You
like,
can take
is
it
there,
anytime you wanted
right?
because it's so weak.
Yeah, in my first game, I had Papal States, and it was really hard to keep it. Um, and I noticed it's like the only place that only has one, like one levy slot.
The thing is, because there's a comment out, if you take it, I'll be down a king, you'll be up a king, and you'll be that much closer to having imperial victory. And bar there being, oh, I could also take it back with like my peasant revolt, but I mean, then you can just take it right back. So, but it's something to be aware of is like putting pressure on for victory.
All
Now,
right.
do you want me to advise you so that like I'm playing against myself, or do you want to see plays and learn like the stinking hard way?
No, no, sting me.
Okay,
I guess like if I asked a question,
for
you need
sure,
to
I'll
answer
answer it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
that is the best way to
don't.
learn is to like get totally stung.
Yeah, definitely. So I think sort of my thought here is I'm gonna take a different um, empire because I'm still threatening papal states at pretty much any time. Um, and I think I'll leave that for later. I think I'm going to try and okay. As
So
I was
another thing
saying,
about taking papal states though too is that
hmm
when you get the pawn for regime change, you could put the pawn here, and that'll put you ahead on the west route. So whenever there's like one coin on the west route, you can cash it in for money.
that's true. And you don't have any good ways to get rid of a pawn on the board,
Like a repress.
right?
I have no repress right now, no.
Mm-mm.
As an op. Considerations for which empires to take. Portugal has a discovery prestige, and that's the rarest prestige. So if you had that up on me and you had two more concessions, you'd be threatening globalization.
Gotcha.
And England, Aragon, Papal States, and Holy Roman all have, as republics, they all have law and vote and commerce. Well, all republics have commerce, but specifically those four have a law and vote, which makes them very good for Renaissance. And also, vote is another good way to attack with.
hmm
But that doesn't matter because you can't vote vassals. I mean, if you took it and then had like a one shot attack as a straw man while it's already in your tableau, then you'd get that republic. So yeah, it might still be worth getting one of those because then you'd be one step closer to having that republic.
Okay. I think I am going to campaign Papal States. I do like the point about getting a cube out towards the front of the trade route.
Yeah.
So I'll pay 3 florins for my knights, and then
Now
so
do it this way. So you started your
okay.
ops by taxing.
Yes.
You don't need to tax yet because two beats one already.
Okay.
So don't pay one and make yourself overpay for that campaign.
Ah, I see. Okay, so then I just have to pay 2 for the
Yeah.
so I haven't taxed yet, and I only paid 2 for
Yeah.
the campaign.
Very good.
Okay, and so now so these just trade 1 for 1, and then there's a regime change. So I take the Papal States card under my France card,
Hmm.
and then I place a concession somewhere. And so the way this works is that I could place it here for free, or I could repress one of yours for 1 florin, right?
Yep.
Okay. And so yeah, so I'll repress this one, and it goes on the Papal States card.
I've gotten used to just putting it here, right below. That's what
Okay,
we do in Second Edition, because then you can see on the map the repressed pieces for like bonus attacks.
sure. And I okay, so mine's out. I had to pay my 1 florin. Okay,
And now if you want to tax,
right. And I think I will. So I'll go ahead and pay 1 florin and grab another night in Paris. Um, And then let's see. I think I'm going to run West Trade Fair. Um, so I will take $1 from the market or the China, and then this will pay out here. Yep.
Hmm.
So let's see. Are there any empty slots? No. So I'll take it, and that's my turn. Oops. There.
Now, one thing you could have considered doing was getting this, because that would behead my west card.
Um.
That would also give you another king, which would
Right.
have put you up um, closer to imperial.
Yep. That's true.
Next time.
Yep.
Okay, here's that sting I was talking about. So I'll play this card. This is a pawn anywhere in the west. Oops, that's your pawn. I'll put it here. Oh, frick. Put it here, paying 1 to repress.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll run Western Ops, all commerce. And then I'll vote, because I've got the pawn majority on France.
Yep.
So it'll cost 1, but then they'll topple stuff. So I feel a bit bad, but you know what? I mean, you got to see how the plays work, right? So you had
No. No. Don't feel bad at all.
one thing you could have done with your 3 knights was just attack England or Aragon, and then put a pawn like there or there. Then I couldn't have voted you.
Gotcha. But wouldn't you have still been able to repress my
If you
pawn?
had, if you took England and then put like your pawn here, I wouldn't have the pawn majority for the vote.
But you just placed this pawn, right?
I just did it now, yeah, and currently I have a pawn majority on
Yeah, I guess
France.
I'm not quite following because I thought that you used this pawn placement to repress my pawn.
Hmm.
So
So
why
first
would you not have been
action,
able to do that if my pawn was over here?
I could still have repressed the pawn that was here.
Oh, sorry, yeah, because I already had the France pawn. I could have also had the England pawn right here. I see. Okay, then I would have had two pawns. Is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, you would have England and a pawn here, and I
Yep,
wouldn't be
and
able
then
to vote
France
with
and
my
my pawn there.
ops.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. And does this pawn stay repressed in France?
I've got the option of emancipating, and I will not emancipate it.
Right. What happens to the Papal States empire? It
Goes
goes
back
back.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, and this guy doesn't get emancipated because that's not regime change. It's just like getting discarded. And then here's my pawn for regime change. I'm going to see if there's any peasant
But then he
revolts.
actually gets discarded, right? In first edition.
Oh yeah, this is first edition, so this is discarded. Uh, peasant revolts in Holy Roman. No, I'll just put it here. And that's 2 actions. I have no money to like campaign. If I had money, I could have then like immediately campaigned, but I don't.
Right. Yeah. So I thought about buying that queen, and I guess I should have, but I was like, my thought process was I was like I saw that I had my pawns closer to the sort of the trade routes, and so I was trying to like keep them very cash poor to prevent you from getting money. Um, because I guess I just thought that was better.
So you traded the option of if you bought that queen, that would have dropped a second coin here, and that would have given me a coin profit if I did a trade fair, and that's why you didn't buy it.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, so everything in this game is a trade, right? So you traded that behead ability for me not getting 1 coin from trade fair, but I did have commerce anyway.
Mm, gotcha.
So commerce is obviously like a really good op to invest in the early game. as long
Yes.
as your opponent's not rushing. And the rush strategies in Ren are usually going to be holy victory. If someone gets like an early jihad off an Ottoman, that's like snap of the fingers, like win condition right there. Because that
Gotcha.
they'll get like three believers plus the one that's already in Mamluk and the bishop. That's it's immediate. So I had a game recently where that's I spent all my money on a jihad and Ottoman, and my opponent got all these nice cards that were going to screw me up, but he accidentally put the comet within my reach, and I won on turn 3.
Hmm.
But if the game went on longer than that, if I was broke, if I was missing one more florin, I would have probably lost that game.
Okay, so now I'm looking at one shots again, trying to figure out if there's anything that will get me back on the board. Um,
Yeah, this guy.
I
And you can
so
still
why is
harass
that?
me.
Is it because there's the black bishop and the knight, or like I don't.
It's a jihad. So in a religious war,
Mhm.
it's wherever the target is, it's all believers in the target empire, in addition to all
Oh,
surrounding
and the
knights.
surrounding ones,
Yeah,
right? I forgot about that. Okay, it's just the surrounding knights, or
surrounding believing knights.
right?
So in this case, it would be 3 against 2, because this targets Byzantium.
Okay, then we're gonna buy it, and I will play it to the east. And so the bishop goes on this card. And so, right. So that bishop and the surrounding knights are what's going to attack Byzantium, right?
No, bishops don't attack.
Oh, okay. So
And
then I thought it was. Oh, I missed that one. Okay.
it's believing ruling class in the
Yep.
target plus surrounding knights that are believers. And technically,
Gotcha.
bishops are the last part of that. They come out last. So if you were to take Byzantium and there were like repressed tokens on it, that bishop could immediately pacify one of the repressed tokens.
I see. Okay. Uh, okay. So then I will have both of these knights trade with these pieces. And then I get the Byzantium King Empire card. Thank you.
Hmm.
And then a concession for that.
Is this the mod you used earlier or previously?
Yes. Hmm.
Cool.
And that's it. So clean up the market.
Very cool. And now you've got all the money by far. I've got nothing. And now the Islamists are in a winning position because there. Oh, also you want to flip this.
Ah, right.
So you're going to have a lot of believers on the map compared to like 0 believers of the only other theocracy. So I'm lucky to have purchased this bishop,
So
which
wait,
I
why are there
need to
zero
play.
believers? Because I thought that these qualified.
You killed him. No, only in theocracies.
Oh, only inside the. Okay, got it.
So we've got 3 theocracies right now, and those are the ones that matter for holy. So if you had 4 florins, you could on your next turn buy the comet and then win.
Right.
Thankfully, I've got this bishop which I need to play. It's ideal to play it if this is already out, but it's not. So this will just go. Um, I'll place it. I can either place it here on its own card or on the west card right here. I think I'll put it here for now. And I've got no money and there's nothing to commerce. Are there any Islamic bishops? There are. So what you want is to get this, because then that will give you more bishops than me.
Right.
So I'll do a West Trade Fair. Just take one coin. That's all I got.
And your first action was to play this card.
Yeah.
And you put the bishop over here. Why is that?
Because this is a West card, and I can place it from the West to anywhere in the West that I want. And
Gotcha.
because you're threatening religious win, I definitely don't want to put it on any of your cards, because then you could sell it to remove the bishop. So I need to bear the burden of hosting that bishop on my tableau. And the bishop shuts down ops.
I see. And so you want to keep this behead alive?
Something too is just, as soon as you play this card, I can behead it.
Right.
If I put the bishop here, then I wouldn't be able to behead immediately.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to play this pirate in the east. And so that puts down here. Yep.
That will kill my pawn.
And then let's see.
They should put the inactive text like right here to make it match with the rest of the cards. Now it's like so imbalanced looking.
Yep. Um, I'm going to also run East Trade Fair. So I'll take a florin and then pay out here, here, and it continues all the way through. So levies, I'll grab the knight first. And then knight in the Ottoman Empire and Mamluk and Hungary are both saturated. Okay, reset the market.
Oh, that was only your first. Oh, you played a card in the trade fair. Okay. Yeah.
Yep, this coin should go on top of here. That's it.
I wanted this card because it's got that ability to sell for 4 florins. And I'm broke. Could use that.
Yep.
Hmm. Okay, I think I will buy this card and then
Okay.
run ops. No, not gonna. I'm gonna be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just do a West trade fair for 1 coin again. This really, really sucks. I've got to cannibalize. Um, can you do anything sneaky with that damn pirate? Let me see. Probably not. Fortunately, I have to sell a card for 2 coins because I'm broke.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, for the don't forget you can also harass me with this guy, that tax.
All right. Yep. What happens if a comet falls off?
Just goes away,
Oh,
and that means one fewer victory condition can be activated this game.
interesting. Okay.
So what are you thinking? Any questions?
Um, I guess what I'm thinking is like, how am I supposed to get some of these prestige icons that I could be looking for?
Which prestige are you looking for?
Globalization?
You just need to find it in the market. So currently there are none, but if you were to somehow get Portugal, that comes with one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You are putting pressure on Holy, so you might want to, uh, you know, play that angle.
Right. Okay.
So to the viewers, I
So I
just turned
think I
on.
will buy this card for 3.
There you go. That's good. So to the viewers, I just pushed on, turn on push to talk because I want to have some commentary, but I don't want to like
And
help them win necessarily. But I I've been dragging down that
So if I
Jesuits
play
card.
it, where are my options of placing this bishop?
Anywhere in the east.
Just my east, right?
I don't have any east cards, so it'd have to go
Right,
somewhere in your own.
right. But if you had east cards, I could put them there.
Hmm. But if you
But
want to
then you can
win
sell the
in
card.
Holy, I could sell it. So
Right.
if you want to keep that bishop to win, you got to put on your own cards.
Can I put it on
Yeah.
an empire? I see.
So thankfully, he won't be able to afford
What happens
Jesuits
if
to
the
deny
empire
it.
flips later?
It stays. In first edition, the bishop stays. In second
Gotcha.
edition, it's discarded.
Interesting. Okay. So I will play it, and the bishop.
Comes out last, technically. But put it there so you don't forget.
Right.
I always forget it.
Right. So I could do a jihad. I probably want to. The east is a pretty large area. Let's see.
Yes.
Um, so I can target the Ottoman, right? Because
Hmm.
there's red and white um,
Yep. So you would
ruling class
have
tokens.
4 attackers because that rook is also an attacker
Ah, I
against
see.
2 defenders.
So rooks of the same color in the
Yeah.
target
Hmm.
count as a okay. So 1, 2, 3, and then the one from the bishop from the card counts, right?
No,
Wait,
bishops
no,
don't fight.
no. Then so where's the 4? Oh, right, these two. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So these two and then these two. Okay, so yeah, I will do the jihad in the Ottoman. And so I will get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get rid of one of these to take out this, and uh,
So here's a little secret, little Easter egg.
yep,
There's a rule that says when there's a religious war in Ottoman, you can rearrange the tokens in Constantinople. So if you claim the rook as a casualty
I see.
and you flip the card,
So I can put these wherever I want when it flips.
yeah. So if you had 2 knights still, you could use those knights to cover up those 2 rooks, and then like with the trade fair, get like a third knight levy to turn
Gotcha,
Ottoman into a campaigning powerhouse.
gotcha. Okay. So that's resolved. I'll grab the bishop now, and um, I
Did you
think I'm
put
gonna put.
a pawn?
No, I didn't. Nor did I take the empire. Um, let's see, where is it? Yep. Okay.
If hit you, you can place something at the bottom.
I'm sorry.
Hitting you will place stuff at the bottom. So shit, that was a mistake.
Hitting you. Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. I didn't know that. All right. Let's see. So I get a concession for that right there. So I have the Ottoman and Byzantium, and I think I'm gonna put this. Well, I need to look at your. So you have a behead for
Only Papal
Papal
States.
States,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, like, I would love to put this on the pirate because I feel like it's the least useful of these cards right now.
Right.
But that's a really bad idea.
Yeah, it is.
Um, I think I'm gonna put it on this Byzantium card because I don't think I'll be campaigning from there, but we'll see. So there we go. I think that's two, right? I bought. No, I.
Yeah, that was a buy and play.
Oh, yep. Okay, cool. Please slide over. And you.
So I have to buy and play this card. I'm lucky this card exists right here. I mean, if this card didn't exist, I probably would have sold a card and then bought this card myself.
Right.
So this targets Aragon, and there are 2 Islamists in Aragon, so I can pick 2 knights to be casualties. Okay, and that'll get me Aragon. Placing the pawn here because you could just repress it immediately. I don't have time to behead this card yet.
Yep.
And then the bishop has to come out. I'll just put on this Aragon card. And also Aragon flips to a Theocracy. Now notice I can't rearrange this knight because it wasn't an agent. It has to stay where it was. So now for Holy Victory, we're still even on bishops, even though you have the potential to get a lot more believers on the map.
Right.
And to those looking at home, I've actually probably clinched a Renaissance victory. But yeah, I was sucking down the cards to make this just barely affordable for me, but not affordable for him. And I guessed that he would probably go for this card, as he probably should have. And it just so happened that I could get this card. And this also gives me Aragon, which is a very powerful empire for Renaissance. Now, the only thing that can stop me from winning for him is to get that law all the way in the 5-cost slot. But he can't afford it. He could if he ran a trade fair.
Okay. I'm gonna run a Eastern trade fair.
Oh, there you go.
I'll take a florin from China, and then this pays here. Oh man, back it up. I might want to put another florin there because I wanted to reinforce the Ottoman. So let's see. I have 2 florins. I could buy either of these first two cards. Conspiracy and Mamluk.
Probably the better way for you to have won Holy was for you to get this card, actually, which would give you that Inquisitor op, which you could have used to Inquisit my bishop to this one of your cards and then sold it to get rid of that bishop. But then if you had done that, I would have definitely have gotten this card and then just used that bishop to snipe this, so never mind. But if you're trying to win in Holy, your options are to either get more bishops than me right now, or to get an Inquisitor, a Catholic Inquisitor, to start influencing these bishops
Gotcha.
and lead them off a cliff. Well, if you want to put a coin down, why don't you just get this? It's free and it gives you a commerce.
Yeah.
Or, honestly, this might be a threat to you because that would trade shift to Novgorod and cut off your income. But it's expensive. I don't think that I would actually get it. I don't have enough money to just throw around like that.
I can't afford it even.
Actually, if I did trigger this, that would give me all the money on the east because it would start in Holy Roman and then give me 3.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this card and then get that trade shift to defend it if the game goes longer than a few more turns.
Okay.
As a backup, if you wanted to go Imperial, I mean, there's all these cards here that will attack. Like the Mamluk, you can siege a Mamluk to weaken it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's I think my plan. I just noticed the siege card I had. So I'm gonna buy that and then run a trade fair. So
Damn, he's going to be
1
making
florin
that
to me,
law
and then 1
affordable
florin
to
to
him.
each of these 3 concessions here. And so let's see. Knight here, saturated in Hungary, knight in Constantinople, saturated in Mamluk. And then refresh the market. Whoops. There we go. And over to you.
Okay, I'll run Western Ops. I'll start by beheading your pirate.
Yep.
And with my Jesuits, I will uncover, or I'll move the bishop over. Oh, this is from the west. I'm going to move it over to there, actually. And then with this
Wait, hold on. Who
card,
did you use to move the? But it's silenced, right?
bishops don't silence Inquisitor Ops.
I see. Okay.
They'll silence every op except Inquisitor.
Okay.
So my bishop is able to jump 2 cards because that's a west card it was on, and so it can go from a west card to any card in the west.
Right. Okay.
And then I'll vote Aragon.
Okay.
3 because there's no repressed tokens. Actually, I wanted to move this over to France to pacify that token. And that's a regime change, so I'll pop out another pawn. And I will then commerce. Actually, I'm gonna, yeah, just keep it that way. Commercing this one.
Okay.
And then I'll get this Kremlin. All right, so because our comment's out, you always got to check to make sure you can't lose on the next turn. Uh, you've got 2 kings to my 1 now since I flipped to 1. And we're still even on bishops. There are no additional bishops in the market, so I can't lose that way. And neither of us has any discovery prestige, so that way is not going to be the thing. And then, yeah. Now he needs to buy that law in the market.
Okay. Okay, so I'm looking and you have 2 law,
There you go.
which is not good for the home team. So I need to figure out how to either get a law or a republic, really, which feels difficult. Let's see. I guess there's this guy.
Yeah.
I have
So
to
it's good on your
immediately.
last turn that you made yourself a lot of money and made this card cheaper because that was really your
Right.
way out.
And let's buy it. So I'll put a floor in there, buy that card. So I have 2 in hand now, and I'll go ahead and play this to the east. And so let's see. So we have a conspiracy in Hungary.
If you want to trigger it, it'll just take out one of these knights.
Right. And I might want to do that. Sure, why not? Let's do that. I'll take care of this Catholic knight. And cool. That's my turn. I clean out the market.
Another
Back to you.
law. I'll buy this card.
Yep.
And probably have to play this card to trade shift to take out your money.
Mm-hmm.
So when trade shift happens, moves here, this gets repressed for free if Byzantium's in play, which it is.
Yep.
And also being careful not to draw any more cards in the east, because if there's one more bishop that gets drawn, I'm screwed. Remember, Dan in the Discord was like, "Oh, if you don't draw cards, you're grinding the game to a halt."
Right, right. I do remember that. Okay, let's see here.
Oh, when I played my Kremlin, I don't believe I placed my pawn.
Okay.
Um, Probably there. I think you can tax in the east, so I'm not going to put a pawn in the east.
Yep. Okay. mm,
It's a pretty tense game here. If he gets one more bishop in the east, one more black bishop, I'll be in some trouble. But I kind of want to draw cards out of the east because that'll make me a lot of money. But I can't do it if he's got a lot of money because then he can get that bishop
Okay.
and then
I'm
win.
gonna play this card in the east, conspiracy and Mamluk. So I don't have enough attackers because there's no pirates bordering or figures that are repressed, and it has 2 ruling class tokens.
Yeah, so you just choose one casualty. You probably want to
Um,
choose the Catholic because you kind of want there to be Islamics, right?
right. So
However, look at the oh yeah, another reason to choose the Catholic is that there's technically jihad here. So by getting rid of the Catholic, it'll turn that card off, unless you yourself want to use that card. So that's kind of how you decide which casualties to use.
that makes sense. I think I'm going to get rid of the Catholic rook here. And so that was my first action. My second is I am going to purchase.
So now it's kind of funny. The West is where you can still make money with trade fairs.
That's true. Yep. Um, I'm going to purchase this first card, Duke of Athens, in the east. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's see. Reset the markets.
Phew, not a
Crafty.
bishop. Okay, I'll definitely do an East trade fair.
Yep.
It's still risky to do it because if a bishop comes out, all you have to do is like do a trade fair and then buy the bishop, and then I'm in some trouble. So I've got 4 pawns here, and there's 4 coins in the market, so it'll reinforce all the way here.
Yep.
Now, I'm not attacking Holy Roman here because he can just take it right behind me. So I just prefer to reinforce it here to prevent him from taking it. Huh, if I bought 1 card in the East and then did the trade fair, you'd get a coin, but it would also give me... I don't think I need to worry about raising believers. I'll never match you. I don't think I'll match you. I mean, I could. No, you have 4.
Mm-hmm.
Easily can get 5, so... And then I'll buy this card.
I mean 6, right? Like I can get a whole lot because because knights only count
No,
or
no, no, no.
yeah. So
Well,
I can get all these here, right?
you could, but like since I've got commerce, I can control the West market to an extent.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of that, I think I'm gonna actually just run ops and do that. Um, so I'll just hoover up some coins here.
Mm-hmm.
Running ops, do commerce. I've got 2 commerce. I think that's all I'll do.
Okay.
I don't need the money, but I'd rather start starving you out here.
Yep. I played this hoping there would be a florin left for me to get with my commerce. Hmm.
Okay, so I just need one more law to win. So there's a law right here, and there's a law right there. So 'cause he's only got 1 law, and I have 2. So I need to open a comet and get some laws. He probably needs to keep sucking down this deck and hope that there's one more bishop in here. That's pretty much his salvation is one more Islamic bishop.
So I was hoping that maybe there'd be some way for me to use this conspiracy, um, but I don't think there is because the only real way that I have to affect the Ottoman is this card, which sieges in the east.
Well, are you trying to attack it to strawman? Because you do have an east vote. You don't have to violently attack Ottoman to get a republic.
Oh, I, I forgot about that. Yeah, I was kind of pigeon brain there for. Okay, that's true. Okay, but then votes are gonna cost
0.
3.
You have no repressed tokens in Ottoman.
Oh, right. It's not the concessions. It's just the repressed tokens. Okay,
It would cost 1 in Byzantium.
gotcha. Okay. Hmm.
So I can get either one more law. I can even get this attack in England here. which will give me England, and England's got another law on its reverse. So that's probably gonna be the card I want to go for.
Still, that doesn't seem really like a winning strategy, I guess, because I'm so far behind on
You're
law.
only one behind on laws.
That feels like a lot, because I need to be two more than you.
You need to
So
just
I
keep it within two to stop me from winning, and you've got two in the market here. Alternatively, you can just get two republics here. So if you just have, we both have two empires, right? And if I can't get more than that, and you've got two republics, I also can't win Renaissance that way.
right, that's true. Okay, I think I'm going to do um, East Ops then, so I can ignore these cards. Or no, hold on, I lied. I think I want to buy a card so I can put some money in there to commerce out. So I'm going to buy the Grande of Spain for 2 florins, and then I will run the East Ops. So let's see. Done, done. Um, let's see. Okay.
Oh yeah, so if you're trying to go for a religious victory, tax is very strong because that gives you believers. But obviously, that's not your problem right now. Your problem is lack of bishops. But you can also
Right.
siege. So if you wanted to campaign and get more empires, like this is like a really good imperial card.
That's true. That's true. Um, yeah, let's siege in Hungary. Yes. No, done there. And then um we will vote in
Probably Ottoman, right? Because it's
yes,
cheapest,
Ottoman. Yep.
and that will give you another commerce, so you can get both of your coins back.
I don't they both have commerce?
All republics have commerce. Yep.
Right. Okay. So yeah, so I will do the vote in the Ottoman. That flips that. And then um do they always move to the right when that happens?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was this card. I will do both of these commerce to get my florins back. And then, so how do I use this Inquisitor? I know I can't this turn, but I can use that to move
Any black
either
bishop.
of my. Okay, I see. And then the rule is that so these Byzantium bishops can go to any Byzantium card.
Yep. Or any east card. Or they can just move over one card,
Okay,
but never crossing over the banker.
right. Okay, all right. That's my turn. Reset the market. Back to you.
I've been incredibly lucky that there's no bishops here. I will do a West trade fair,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will buy this comet
Okay.
to open up Renaissance.
All right. So we have the same number of republics right now.
Yeah, I'm just putting on pressure pretty much, and
Yep. Yep.
also
No.
removing your avenue to holy victory for the time being.
Yep.
Also, drawing two cards in the West has a higher chance of drawing like more Catholic bishops if I need it.
True.
And then one thing to consider, take note, is that the decks are almost out, so it'll come down to patron, and then if we're tied on patron, which we are, I think,
Which one is patron?
um, like the bust of Michelangelo.
Right. Okay.
then it'll go to money.
Okay.
But since I only need a little more to win, you've got some decisions to make. I'm probably going to buy and play that Byzantium card because, oh, it's a peasant revolt. It's not a conspiracy. I can't use that bonus attacker. So I'm not going to because he can behead it. Which I don't want. So I'm going to go with my original plan of getting England. And if need be, that Aragon card. Just try and win. Because if it goes to Patron, he's got an edge. Because he can get Hungary and Mamluk
Okay.
very easily.
I'm gonna purchase the second card in the East March. Or sorry, no, it's the first card. Oh wait, no, I have 2 cards in hand. Okay. Did I have a plan? Let's see. Okay, so in a conspiracy, the repressed knights and rooks will fight, right?
Yeah. So I'll give you another.
So yeah, so I will play that out, and then so there are 2 attackers and 1 defender. So I can have the guy that's repressed. No, I don't necessarily want him to die. So I can have this Catholic
Mhm.
rook trade with this knight. I guess it's yeah okay, and then
There you
so
go.
okay. This is one at a time. And then so I get Byzantium.
This guy
I already
comes
have
out too, though,
Byzantium.
because he's a surviving attacker.
Right. Yep. So this flips and it goes. Oops. It goes to the right.
Yep.
Yep. And I get a concession.
Yep.
And then I can emancipate this guy.
Yep.
And okay, so let's see. No money in the Western Trade Fair. Um, but I think that my republics are safe. No, maybe not. Hold on. No, not really. Or I guess that. Yes, no, they are because I was looking at this one, and that's Hungary. Okay. Um, okay. Let's see. So I have 1 law. You have 2.
Mhm.
Um,
And France does not have one on the reverse.
gotcha. And so it's unlikely, I think, that you'll be able to get another a republic and law in the same turn, right? Like that seems pretty difficult.
No, no, I'm not going to get another law on my next turn and then claim victory. I mean, there are laws in the market, but we're coming up to the end of the game,
Yep.
so that kind of makes it interesting. I'll remind you that Papal States, Hungary, and Mamluk all have patron on them.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, damn, I've got to get my baby.
Okay.
So, for the sake of the game wrapping up, do you want to just try and make it like 30-second turns?
Sure. Yep. Definitely. Okay. I will buy this card here.
Okay. Very decent.
Back to you.
Okay, I'll buy this one. Oh man, I'm at my hand limit actually. We shouldn't buy this card. Okay, actually I'm gonna buy this one.
Mm-hmm.
And play it. So now I am in a winning position without the necessary actions to claim victory.
Are you though? Because you only have one republic.
That's true. So, well, I've got enough laws, but not enough
Ah. Mm-hmm.
other things.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, that doesn't help. Um,
So you probably need to play your law.
yep. And I will add the rook to Byzantium. I'm going to do Eastern Ops now. I have 3 commerce, so I'll drain the market. Okay, I've used all my commerce cards. Yep, and then let's see. Do I have a good vote? Oh no, I don't. Obviously. Do I want to siege anywhere? No. Okay.
I've got a master plan. It's really hard for him to see
I'm
it
going
coming.
to. Let's see. So I have 1 tax in Hungary, so I could add 1 unit here, but that wouldn't be enough to stop this conspiracy.
Right. I'm not going to get that anyway because you can just easily eat away at Hungary and take it with this card.
Right. Okay. I think I'm done then. I think there's nothing else I can do really with that.
Okay. I'll buy this card.
Mm-hmm.
And I will run West Ops. Commerce. And then campaign from France. Oh, it's got to, okay, I have to move that bishop back over here.
Mm-hmm.
Campaign from France, paying 3 into England. Oh, I've got one more commerce I can use. And that's it.
Okay. Um, I think I'm going to buy and play this Hungary card to my growing stack of cards. So it gets 2 reformist rooks, and I get Hungary. My infinite to blow.
Yeah. Okay, I'll play this card, the Peasant Revolt in England,
Mm-hmm.
which will free it and create a republic
I didn't
with.
know that you could strawman your vassals. That's the thing you
Sure,
can do? Okay.
you can't vote, but you can still attack with
Ah, that's what I
one
was
shots.
thinking. Okay.
And I still need one more republic, so I just play that card, and then I'll just run ops, and then I will vote France. Oh damn! But you can still get another republic. Oh God, you
Because I
can
can vote
actually
as
stop
well.
it.
Oh, wait. I should have added a concession to Hungary. There.
Because I'm not running ops yet.
Okay.
Just played that. You've got two republics.
And two law. You have three? Is that right? Oh,
I have
you
two
have four now.
republics
Okay.
and four laws.
Yep. Okay.
So I actually should have gotten that. Damn. Screwed up. You might win with patron here.
That was why I grabbed Hungary. Was the
Yeah.
biggest reason. It also threatens, I guess, the Republic, but yeah.
So because I can't win that way, does he have any discovery? No. I will instead buy this card.
Okay.
Last ditch.
All right. I already have an Ottoman Republic. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Don't want any of these cards.
If he doesn't vote Hungary, I'll win.
Two queens. Legion Mamluk. Mm, yeah. I'll buy. Oh wait, no, because so this is a jihad, so it would be really hard to get that to happen.
You can always
Not necessarily.
tax.
I could, yep, tax. I could tax. All right. Well, let's go ahead and buy that. Fill my hand, and I'm going to run e-stops. I have 3 commerce, so I get both these coins. I'm going to tax. I'm going to tax this concession right here.
Sure.
It dies, and I would get the yep. Put that there. Let's see. So I've done 2 commerce and a tax in uh, the east. I also want to can, oh, I also want to siege in Hungary. Get rid of this guy. That's it. Okay. Refresh the market. Back to you.
Okay, since you didn't vote Hungary, then I win. Because now I can
Oh,
just vote France and then claim victory.
right. So let's say that I voted Hungary, or did I? Oh, did I siege with this card? No. So let's say that I did that.
Right.
That
So,
so I did I pay anything? No, right?
no.
Okay.
So say you did that.
Yep.
My other avenue to victory would be um, attacking Portugal to remove these,
Okay.
and then campaigning, running ops, so sucking up all the money,
Mm-hmm.
um, and attacking Papal States. So then we're tied on patron.
Yep.
And I think that's all I do on my
Actually,
ops.
you're ahead on Patreon now.
Oh, you're right. So then I would just do double. Oh no, I would actually just do double trade fair just to get more money because we'd be tied on patron and I would win on money.
Does the game end when we can't draw a card?
Yeah. So there's
Okay.
only one card left, and instead of doing all the stuff, because I have to pee so bad and I have to run and get my kid,
Yes, definitely.
I would have thought harder about it. But you're right. If we're tied, since you did that to Hungary, um, I could then just end the game with like one or two more florins than you. Because I think,
Yep.
well, actually, no. I started my turn with only three. So if I did two trade fairs, that would give you one. So I'd have to do this.
I mean, the Western Trade Fair gives me.
It would give you
Where does it
one,
start? Oh yeah, right.
and
Oh
you'd
no,
be up
two,
by
right?
one.
Because there were $2 here.
No, there was one.
Oh, okay.
But I would be up. You'd be six out of five. So I
Yeah.
have to do this, and then I don't know what you do on your turn since we're tied.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to end it. You could campaign, spend two into Papal States. Becomes a little quagmire there.
I mean, why do
Um,
I not just buy a card and then commerce? Because that gets the deck empty as well, right?
because right now I've got the patron and you don't.
Oh, right.
And this, you can draw one more card. It's not going to end until you need to draw and the deck is empty. So if you can't win on your next turn, then I can win by um, uh,
And I have no way to campaign because I only have
republics.
my republics.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, you could still vote Ottoman and then campaign.
Oh,
But
right.
what I
Vote
would,
back to a kingdom. Yep.
yeah, what I would do is I would just take Portugal and then wait again, I guess.
Hmm.
This last one's a comet. And um, I don't know, it would be a quagmire, but my other option is to try and win on discovery. One, two, three, four, five, six to one, two, three, four, five. I don't even have that. So tough to know. I think I don't know, other than the fact that I've got to go right now. But that was a very close game, and at least
Yeah,
for
definitely.
for beginner game illustrative purposes, that was fantastic. We went the full distance. So yeah, excellent.
Yeah. Thanks so much for playing.
Yeah, it was enjoyable, man. Thanks
All
for
right.
signing on, and until next time.
Let's play again soon.
I
Bye.
have to go pee. I agree. All right, take it easy. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed the match, and